All right, here we go. This is what we're after. We want to do some engraving and do some V carving. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we'll close this out. From here, we're going to create a new file. We're going to type in our dimensions in X, Y, and Z. We're going to zero on top center, and we're going to choose OK. So that gets our job set up, right? All right, so the next step is to import some of our vectors. So we're going to go to File, Import Vectors. All right, and then from here, I just have a folder with some of them set up. So let's do the text first. So we just open up the text. That looks good. We want to go over here to where it says Join Open Vectors. So we'll click that. We'll click Join. Okay, so now it's done. So we'll close this. All right, now we want to come over here and we're going to click this switch to toolpath commands, or what I would call the cam tree. From here, we want to do a V carve for this one. So we'll go to V carve. All right, I'm just going to select the text. So I want to make sure my mouse is above and to the left of all the geometry. Click and hold. Drag a window below and to the right, and that will select everything in there. Let's go to our tool. So let's say we're using a 1/4 inch V-bit. We'll say select on that. If we go back and edit this, we have depth per pass, so maybe we cut a little bit deeper than that, maybe 80, and final pass. Let's see, these are some step overs. This is the RPM. This number here is how fast we're cutting. So this is like if it's roughing it down or not. We could try to cut more aggressively like this. We'll say OK, and then calculate. All right, so that gives us all our toolpath to have the tool come in there and to cut out these shapes. Now, what exactly, let's see here. Oh, I don't want that. Let's close that. Let's hide that one. Maximize this one. I kind of want to see the toolpath a little bit better. Let's go to the 2D view. Let's go to the 3D view. Let's close this. Let's go to here. We're trying to look at the up and down motion. So all the light blue lines are either going up or down into the material. All the red lines are repositioning, and all the blue lines are when it's cutting. So what if let's go back into here. We're saying go to this depth. Right? Go to 125, and then when we look at the cutter, let's edit the cutter. We're telling it its depth is to go to 125, which is to go all the way to the bottom. Okay? If that's too aggressive and we want to take it in more passes, we can make this number smaller. All right? So we're gonna be okay with that. We'll just recalculate for good measure. All right? And then now the next step that we want to do is bring in more geometry and do the engraving. Okay, so we're going to go to File and then Import Vectors, right? And then we're going to grab the file that we're working with here, and we say OK. All right, now before we do anything else, it's still highlighted. We want to right-click, move to Layer, New Layer, and we're going to just call this Engraving. Okay. And then we're going to say OK. And then from there, we'll go up to this layer menu here, and we can just turn the light bulb off of these different layers, but we just want to keep the engraving layer on. Okay. All right. Now we're going to close this window, and then we're going to come over to engraving. And again, we're going to select what we want to work with, so we can just window pick all of this. Because we turned off the visibility of all the other layers. If we don't want to view this one while we're trying to select, we can just uncheck it here, and then that goes away. And then this way we can see what we're going to be engraving and also what we're going to select. We can see it all. All right. So you can select it first, or you can go over here. We're going to go over here. This is engraving. We're going to go ahead and window pick everything we want to work with. Let's go to our tool. So I'm picking a sharp engraving tool. So this is a 10-degree sharp engraving tool, right? So I'm just going to select that. How deep I'm going, I'm saying 100 thou. You know, is that too deep? Is that not deep enough? You know, I'm not really sure. You can always go less and then rerun the job and touch off Z, you know, make it deeper and do it that way. I mean, there's different ways to approach it, or just run one at this depth and then program another one at another depth. For now, I'm just going to leave it at the 100 thou. We're going to go ahead and calculate. Right now, this one is definitely, you can see as we zoom in, it's taking multiple passes to get down to the bottom. So we might not want to do that. There looks like a lot of up and down over here. So it definitely doesn't like, you know, there's a lot of repositioning there. But either way, let's just get it to reduce the amount of times it takes to get to the bottom. So we'll close this, double click on this. We're going to edit this. All right, let me do that again because maybe that was too fast. So from this window here, we're going to double click on Quick Engrave. And then here, we're going to choose Edit, where the tool is selected. And then here, this is the depth per pass. So if we want to take it in 2 passes, we could say 50. Okay, and then we click OK and then calculate. All right, so now we have 2 passes to get down to the bottom. If we want to do it just in 1 pass, we can do that as well. We just double click, we go to edit. All right, we just change this from this number to whatever number we want. And if it matches the depth, then it's just going to do it in 1 pass. All right, so now from here we can press play, and that will come in and do the engraving. So we have the V Carve and we have the engraving. That's this project. All right, we'll see you in the next one.